Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny and I do have a special video that I want to do today that's got to do with some of these cards right here, guys. Again, excited to talk to you about these. Stay tuned and we'll get into them. Okay, so today got a little bit of mail. We'll get into the mail first. If we can figure out how to get into this right here. Looks like we've got a seam right here. We'll cut away from ourselves. Hopefully we can get into this box without too much trouble. I was able to start basically a side collection. Was needing something to do that was not 50s cards or 70s cards related, and so I've tipped my hand a little bit as to what these are, and that's fine, but basically I have goals as a collector that I try to establish for myself, for my collection, and the 1 to 3 year goal was to finish building these 70 sets. Now, I'm not going to be able to finish maybe even the 1970 set, but at the same time, I get tired of chasing the exact same stuff all the time. So I was like, well, what else could I get into? Well, 1958 was just a set that I had wanted to get into. Cool note. This eBay seller said, congrats on the purchase of 1958 Topps lot. Hopefully you have found this transaction positive and can take a moment to leave positive feedback. Thanks, Brad. There's his eBay number if y'all want to go check him out. But yeah, so I found some inexpensive lots of these 1958 cards, and I'm so crazy about it that I have already gone out and bought the binder for these. So we got a Tom Acker, Buddy Pritchard with the Pittsburgh Pirates with that really cool old Pirates logo. Say Eddie Yost, that one's got a little bit of a crease down there. Don Besant or Dixie Howell. We got us a Mike Drabowski, Dave Jolly, Woody Held, Dick Littlefield. A couple of upside down cards here. We got a Sam Jones, Don Besant, hopefully, yeah, it looks like that one's going to be a double. Bob Smith, Gus Triondos, and John Powers. So we've already got a double, which is okay. That is all right. So we'll take a look at those and figure out which one is a better looking copy of that card. Probably that one, just because it's got the board all the way around it. But man, once I started finding some of these lots, I got super excited just about the prospect of collecting these sets. So, if this may be something that is a bit of fool's errand because of just how expensive this stuff is in the grand scheme of things. And I recognize that I am not a massive collector. I am a low budget collector. And it says thanks, 1958 Topps. So 12 cards in this one. And anyhow, this is kind of crazy, the amount of packaging that's in here for these 12 cards. Hopefully we find them without doing too much crazy stuff. Alright. Let's see what we got. Wrapped in bubble tape or bubble wrap. Got to get our handy dandy knife back out. But this was a set that, to be quite honest, I mean, I'm starting with absolutely nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. As far as 50s cards go, I think I bumped my camera there. I've got just a handful. I mean, I didn't have many at all. So let's see. We got Jim Bunning. This one's a little bit rough, but you know what? It is what it is. I'll take it. It'll look good in the binder. Willie Miranda. Jim Pearsall was hiding a George Seuss there. The Boston Red Sox. Bob Smith. Dick Grote. Ike DeLock. Lloyd Merritt. We got a Lou Burdett, Bobby Shantz cards, the series Hurling Rivals. Really cool. Larry Raines, Murray Wall, and a Tim Thompson with the Tigers. So there's a you know a handful of cards there that'll help us get started. And again, we've got some doubles potentially that we'll be able to trade off. So I had the opportunity recently to go on a business trip, and while on that trip, I went to a card shop, and the guy there, I asked him about 1958 cards, and he basically let me look around for a minute. I found a couple in his display cabinet, and then he pulled out a binder, and I pulled some cards out of there, and then we wound up, I wound up purchasing, I think there's 10 cards here. Whitey Herzog was one of the better ones I found. That's at least a name that we've heard of. Dixie Howell, Ossie Virgil, Dave Jolly. So again, we may wind up with some dupes here, but Marty Keough, Dave Sisler, Bob Boyd, that one's got a pretty big crease on it. Daryl Johnson, that one can be just a placeholder. Bob Taylor, and Johnny Padres. I thought that was a pretty neat card to come across, so glad to have those. And then I was telling a buddy at work that, what I was trying to do. Let's find that Whitey, and we'll stick Whitey Herzog up back there. And he was like, hey, man, he called me over to his machine one day, and he's like, here, he said, there's some little things wrong with them. He said, you can have these. So he gave me 4 of these 1958 cards. So Jackie Jensen starts us off there in that All-Star card, which is really cool. Got a Joe Cunningham, St. Louis Cardinals, Sam Esposito, and then we've got these Cincinnati Redlegs team card finishes out. So just a start to this little side collection that I'm going to chip away at. Again, this is like my 10-year, shoot the moon goal. Not gonna chase this super hard. I've got some cards that I'm watching on eBay. Some of the bigger names, because let's face it, a 58 Mantle and a 58 Mays, that sort of stuff is going to be expensive. And not to mention all the other Hall of Famers that are in there. But man, I'm tickled to have these cards, to have this history in my hand. So. Dixie Howell right there. Anyhow, we're going to cut this right here. We're going to kind of sort these, figure out what we have. Should be 40 or so cards, maybe a little more than that, maybe close to 50 that we're going to start this collection with and chip away at it over time. Let me know in the comments if you've got any 1958 Topps cards that you might be interested in getting rid of. Maybe trading for, something along those lines. Might work something out. Maybe you'd be interested in the doubles that I might have right here. I'm sure that because I was buying these blind, I'm sure I got a couple that I'd be glad to work something out with you. But man, I'm just tickled. I'm so stoked to have these cards. I look forward to getting a few more, putting them in a binder, and just loving on them for the rest of my life. So. Leave me a nice comment down below. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Dude, leave me a nice comment. Remember, again, go out and collect what makes you feel like a kid. Collect what makes you feel 12 again. And that is all there is to it, guys. Peace out. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.